Welcome back to another episode of Varsity Views Inside the Huddle Edition, brought to you by Keon Sports. I'm Jax.
And I'm Darien.
And week 2 of the high school football playoffs was something else. We got a ton of great games, ton of close games, some high-scoring games. I'm looking forward to getting into this.
Man, you already know how playoffs get. There's some upsets here and there. There's some people you expect to win, some people you don't expect to win. That's just high school football for you.
Hey, that's what makes it so great. So let's get into this. Lead us off.
Oh, yeah, we in there. Coming in at game number 5 of Highland versus North Ridgeville. Now, this game has a little bit of action in it, so we're going to break it down because it starts off slow and then it gets crazy. First quarter, Highland running back Casey Meiser has a touchdown, scores first touchdown of the game, 7-0 just like that. That's all the score that happens in the first quarter. Second quarter, North Ridgeville would answer back as Andrew Ennis has a 22-yard rushing touchdown to tie the game at 7-7. So we're going into halftime 7-7, right? It seems very calm. Anything can happen.
As you get deeper in these playoffs, there's going to be closer games. Like, these are some of the best teams in Ohio.
Well, closer isn't the word I would use. In the second half, Highland would take off. Highland would take off. They would score multiple rushing touchdowns in this half. When I say multiple, I'm talking like 3-4 touchdowns in the second half where they didn't even let North Ridgeville score at all.
Nope.
Like, let's think about this. They scored one time in the second quarter, didn't see the end zone for the rest of the game. The score would end up being 28-7 as Highland just gives them the business in the second half.
Ran away with it, if you would.
Oh, running away. What we used to say? They ran off on the plug twice? They probably ran off about a good 4 times because they didn't let them score, and all they did was run the score up. So, player of the game was the Hornets' defense for shutting down North Ridgeville because, come on now, you tell me y'all didn't let them see the end zone not one time?
In the whole second half?
Not even a field goal range attempt? Like, they got nothing off. If you guys want to read about this story, make sure you guys go to keonsports.com, look up Dom Cleary. This man, he witnessed something crazy. He definitely
running
did.
of the Bulls.
You telling me.
With that, we'll go to game number 4. This was a game that we previewed last week. Medina versus Wadsworth. One of our favorite players in Ohio, Danny Stoddard, the quarterback of Medina. But Wadsworth got some studs too, so let's get into it. First quarter, Medina turnover on downs on their very first drive. Wadsworth would respond with the quarterback Will Stack would get a 2-yard rushing touchdown, making it 6-0 after a missed point after. Medina, however, would respond right away after Jack Wojciak would get a 95-yard kick return touchdown on the following kickoff, making it 7-6. So just like that, Medina gets the lead right back, and that extra point could come back to bite Wadsworth.
Not the 95 yards. My man's took it to the house.
Hey, he's a stud. But Wadsworth would respond after quarterback Will Stack threw a 50-yard pass to the 2-yard line, but they ended up not responding, as it would lead to a fumble on the very next play that Medina would recover. Medina, however, would get another turnover on downs, and Wadsworth's quarterback Stack would find Gavin Madigan for a 19-yard touchdown, making it 12-7 after a 2-point conversion failure. So Wadsworth is leaving points out on the field. That's 3 points they've left out after a missed PAT, and now they failed a 2-point conversion. They could be up 15-7 right now. Instead, it's 12-7 heading into the second quarter.
I mean, I get in the playoffs, you want to be a little risky and try to, extend the lead as much as possible.
Medina's not the team to do that against, though.
You ain't lying.
Because they can score with the best of them.
I don't think they know who their quarterback is. A man just went for almost 500 yards in the first half last week. Come on now.
But in the second quarter, Medina's Talon Hovey would get an interception, and Medina would end up having to punt after that, though. But Wadsworth would muff the punt, and Medina recovered it. That's when Medina's Cooper Hosfek would score an 8-yard rushing touchdown, making it 15-12 after a 2-point try was successful. Hey, Medina said, y'all can't get the 2-point try? I'll show you how it's done. So with that, it's 15-12 heading into halftime. Medina on top. What do you feel about this game right now? How do you feel about Wadsworth?
This game could be tied. That's all I'm saying.
Could be tied or at least a 1-point game.
At least a 1-point game. Like, they left points on the board early, and Medina is a very efficient team. They know how to execute. And you cannot do that against a team like this. Come on, man. They got great receivers, running backs, and a quarterback.
Yeah, they got everything.
They connect the dots very, very well. So I don't know how this is going to fan out for them.
In the third quarter, though, Wadsworth would get an interception, which would lead to a 19-yard passing touchdown from Stack to Caden Shriver, making it 19-15. So there's Wadsworth coming out of half, getting the only score of the third quarter and taking that lead. It's a small lead, only a 4-point lead, but you feel good heading into the fourth with that lead.
I would too. You just gotta play the best defense you possibly can.
You got that right. In the fourth quarter, Medina's quarterback Danny Stoddard would throw a 12-yard touchdown to Jack Wojciak, taking the lead 22-19. Hey, right there, Medina comes right back. Wadsworth would march right down the field, but they were picked off by Medina's Darnell Davis. Wadsworth would end up getting the ball back once again. They got in the field goal territory and on 4th and 6, but they missed a kick to tie the game. But Medina called a timeout before the kick happened, so they get a chance to rethink about what they're doing, if they want to kick it again or if they want to go for it. Wadsworth chose to go for it. They got the first down after rethinking it, but then shortly after that, they would end up throwing an interception and losing the game 22-19. Medina coming out on top. Player of the game was Jack Wojciak with 2 touchdowns for Medina. Hey, they lost by 3. What happened? They missed a 2-point conversion. They missed an extra point. That's 3 points right there. You could be tied. This game could be going to overtime.
This game was very capable of going into overtime. I mean, they're 2 really good programs. But like I said, you cannot afford to miss the easy stuff against a team like Medina. They execute really well. They are a very poised team, bro. They know exactly what they're doing, and clearly you can see that.
Yeah. I mean, tough one for Wadsworth. Great game for Medina. Medina's got a tough opponent coming up next week, coming up this week, I should say, which we'll get into later. But if you'd like to learn more about this game, go to KeonSports.com, look for the author Bryce Holt, who got to witness a very close, very great game out there.
Coming in at game number 3, we have Streetsboro versus West Branch. Now, I'm not going to lie, this sounds like this was going to be an entertaining game, don't you think? We got 2 big schools going head-to-head. Let's get straight to it. West Branch throws an interception on the very first drive. That is not how you want to start off.
No, that's not how you want to start off.
That's not how you want to start a game. But because they threw an interception on the first drive, Streetsboro, Preston's Hopperton got a 6-yard touchdown. Just like that, 7-0. Now, that's probably one they're probably going to want back.
Yeah,
like early,
West Branch, I wouldn't be happy as a West Branch fan, but Streetsboro took advantage of it. That's what you got to do in these playoff games.
In the second quarter, we get a little bit more action as West Branch quarterback Bo Alzaz throws to wide receiver Jeremiah Thomas for a 25-yard touchdown. So even though they threw an interception early, they do redeem themselves in scoring a touchdown for themselves.
They said they're still going to throw that thing. Let that thing fly.
Absolutely. They tied the game at 7 apiece. But guess what? West Branch would also have a surprise onside kick, which they would recover. So now they gain in possessions.
Hey, they caught Streetsboro sleeping. They said, you took away our first possession. Let's go get an extra one right back.
Got to. And guess what? West Branch's Boston Malinks has a 12-yard rushing touchdown as now they up the score 14-7. Now they upped it.
Yeah. Hey, now you're feeling good if you're West Branch.
Got to. And guess what? West Branch again had a 7-yard touchdown from Jeremiah Thomas on a Wildcat play, 21-7.
He said, I'll stand behind where the quarterback's supposed to stand. I'll take it myself.
Listen, just like that, they went from starting the game off with an interception.
Down 7-0.
Down 7-0, and they go 21 straight points, just like that. Now, if I'm West Branch, my confidence now is through the roof.
Yeah, it seems like you figured out what Streetsboro's trying to do. Streetsboro's probably shocked right now that this all just happened. Let's see how they respond.
Well, I don't know if they're too shocked because Streetsboro would have a 25-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Kohan Klimak to Jackson Gula. And now it's a 21-14 game, just like that. And that's going into halftime. We got action now. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty good about this game.
Yeah, hey.
Coming out of halftime, in the third quarter, West Branch would have a 25-yard field goal by Eliza Hurst. 24-14, just like that. They coming out swinging still. If they can't get the touchdown, they going to find a way to get the points up on the board by any means necessary. So just like that, It's 24-14. Now it's a 10-point game. But Streetsboro would respond as running back Preston Hopperton would have a 58-yard touchdown. That's 58 yards?
Streetsboro's not going away. They're not going away.
Now the score is 24-21. Like, Streetsboro is in the game. You know what I'm saying? If it's not for that field goal that they were able to get off to start the second half, like, this could be a tie game.
Yeah.
But they are still in striking distance. But before the third quarter would end, you know, West Branch fumbled in the red zone. It's not something you want to do.
Now Streetsboro's really in striking distance.
Like, that's not something you want to do in the third quarter, at the end of a quarter, knowing that you're only 3 points up on a team. But, hey, things happen. Coming into the fourth quarter, Streetsboro, listen, man, Preston, once again, 58-yard rushing touchdown, just like that.
Hey, he's running that thing. He's running that rock.
Well, he ran it so good, now he done ran the skull past them, so it's now 28-24. Streetsboro is up. Now, if I'm West Branch, we got to make some shake because it's the fourth quarter, and we fumbled in a bad position to where they scored with ease. Now, West Branch Joey Jackson, 79-yard kick return for a touchdown.
Hey, that's exactly what you needed if you're West Branch. All the momentum gone off of Streetsboro. You got it all back off that long kick return and taking that lead 31-28.
79 yards? 31-28 is now the score. And now if you're Streetsboro, you got to panic. Just a little bit. You got to panic a little bit. You want to be poised, but you got to go, man, really? Like, we let him return that?
Hey, but they just saw 2 long rushing touchdowns from their running back, so they probably feel kind of good. Hey, we might be able to run the ball a little bit, but you got to watch that clock. That clock is ticking.
Guess what? And the clock is never your friend. You want to know why? Because Streetsboro turned the ball over on downs. And West Branch was able to hold off Streetsboro as they win this game 31-28 off of a 79-yard kick return by Joey Jackson. If he doesn't make this return, they might not win this game. I'm not saying they wouldn't have scored, but according to the eye on the commercial, the worlds may never know. Player of the game will be running back Boston Mullenix, as he had 144 yards and a touchdown. If you guys want to read more about this, make sure you guys go to Keon Sports. Look up the author, Mitchell Bubb. He saw a great game. He witnessed some crazy in the fourth quarter. Like, let's be real. Like, this is game-changing. Anytime you make a kick return, man, for the length of the field, and you win the game off of that, oh, yeah, it's over.
And with that, we'll head into game number 2 of the week, Canton-McKinley versus St. Ignatius.
Oh, yeah.
Ignatius, we know, had a rough regular season but got that great playoff win the first week. Let's see if they can carry on the Cinderella story. First quarter, Canton-McKinley's Nino Hill would get a 3-yard rushing touchdown, making it 7-0. St. Ignatius would then throw an interception to Shakir Hatcher, and he took it 50 yards for a touchdown. So right out the gate, Canton-McKinley on top, 14-0, quick. Not what you want as Ignatius, but they got a lot of fight in this team. We know that.
Oh, yeah, they were able to win a game that they were not supposed to win.
You got that right. Second quarter, St. Ignatius would get a 27-yard field goal for Tommy Kilbane, making it 14-3, so they're getting on the board. Just want to see some points up there. But that's when Canton-McKinley quarterback Keaton Road would find Keith Quincy for a 45-yard touchdown, making it 21-3. Again, not what you need if you're Ignatius. You need to put 7 on the board on this next possession before halftime. Ignatius would do just that, as St. Ignatius quarterback John Pappas would find Cody Haddad for a 33-yard touchdown, making it 21-10. So Ignatius chipping away at that lead, getting points before the half, just like we said they needed to do. And let's see what they can do in the second half.
They're going to have to play the best defense of their lives right now. You're down, 2 touchdown scores?
Yep, 11 points, yeah.
11 points, like you...
2-score game.
You're going to have to play the best defense you possibly can because you guys are already behind the 8 ball. And there's no question that you guys can't score the football because you guys can. But you're going to have to play, really, really good defense in the second half.
In the third quarter, St. Ignatius would come right out as quarterback John Pappas would find Jonathan Marimy for a 17-yard touchdown, making it 21-17. So here comes Ignatius. Again, fighting like we said they would. Only down 4 points now.
Oh, yeah, because they're definitely not out of this game.
Hey, and that, like I said, that wouldn't last. St. Ignatius again, as John Pappas would find Maramie one more time, this time for a 16-yard touchdown, and they have the lead. St. Ignatius has the lead after being down 21-3. They are now up 24-21. This team just doesn't go away. They won't die. They won't go away.
They got to give everything they got. They understand that they're the underdogs. Like, come on now, this is a team that has 2 wins on the season. They were not expected to even win the last game.
No.
And the fact that they're coming out here and they're giving their best shot at anybody who wants it.
You got that right. Hey, in the fourth quarter, St. Ignatius would end up turning the ball over on downs, and this would lead to Kent McKinley's quarterback, Keaton Rode, finding Keith Quincy. But he would fumble. And that wouldn't matter, though, because Kent McKinley's Alex Vasquez would recover the fumble in the end zone for a touchdown with under a minute left in the game, taking the lead 28-24.
Ooh.
That is a heartbreaker if you're Ignatius. You give a big play, but he fumbles the ball. They recover it in the end zone for a touchdown.
That's what you call bad luck. Like, that's just bad luck. Like, what are the odds? Like, I get you to fumble, and you somehow get it.
In the end zone.
It's crazy.
For 7. With that, St. Ignatius would get one more drive, but they would throw an interception in the end zone to end the game. So they got down the field just close enough to throw a ball into the end zone. It was picked off, and Kent McKinley escapes this one with a 28-24 win over St. Ignatius. I mean, just a fantastic game. Hats off to St. Ignatius for fighting all the way. I mean, it sucks to lose that way, but truly a valiant effort.
I mean, yeah, you said it was a Cinderella story, and it could have been, but the clock struck 12, so it's over.
Yeah.
But, I mean, hey, they got a lot to build on, though, because as we said before, they were in a new coach this year.
Yeah.
And although the season didn't go the way they wanted, they played very well throughout this playoff run. Mm-hmm. They got a win under their belt. Not only that, they fought hard against a really good team and a team they could have won. They could have won this game. It's just that, you know, the ball rolled where it rolled, and it was over. So.
And player of the game was Kent McKinley wide receiver Keith Quincy with 7 catches for 116 yards and a touchdown. And he also had the game-winning interception on defense. So playing both sides was huge in that game.
Sure.
If you'd like to learn more about this game, go to KeonSports.com and look for the author Devin Lowe, who witnessed like we said, one of the best games of the week. That's why it's number 2.
Coming into game number 1 on the week, which it definitely deserves to be number 1.
Another game that we said watch out for this coming week.
It was Buckeye versus Norton. And let me tell you, if this isn't the best game of the week, I don't know what is.
Hey, remember, Norton has that undefeated record coming in this game, but Buckeye has that high-scoring offense.
So we're going to see what it's going to do, man. We're going to jump right into this. Starting in the first quarter, Buckeye Liam Phillips has a touchdown return on the opening kickoff, 7-0. You telling me you coming out the gate like that?
Hey, Buckeye has playmakers.
First opening kickoff. That took, all of 10 seconds?
Yeah.
7-0, just like that for Buckeye. But Norton's quarterback, Bowman, would have an 18-yard touchdown pass to Willig, 7-7. Now it's a tie game. But guess what? Buckeye responds as their running back, McCann, goes for 63 yards and a touchdown. 14-7. Talk about an interesting first quarter.
Hey, high scoring. That's what we like to see.
Oh, it gets even better. Second quarter, Norton's quarterback, Bowman, goes for 32-yard touchdown, and he throws it to wide receiver Thomas Huffman. Tie game, 14-14. Man, this is going.
Undefeated team, high-scoring offense. Like, I'm gonna just keep repeating it. That's what you're gonna get out of these type of games.
But then Buckeyes quarterback Murray to Weidenmeyer, 24-yard touchdown, 21-14. Buckeyes up. Now, I love seeing back and forth. Someone's gonna have to get a stop, right? Like, we can't keep trading.
Hey, that's what you think. Someone has to figure something out.
Well, guess what? Buckeye gets to stop. As I say that, Buckeye does get a stop, right, on defense. And guess what? Murray to Weidenmeyer again for a 14-yard touchdown. Now they're up 28-14. Now Buckeyes up by 2 scores.
Hey, over the undefeated team, you got to be feeling good about that.
But, you know, Norton does make it to the 2-yard line with 6 seconds left to go in the half, but it doesn't result in a touchdown. So Buckeye goes up with high confidence, I would like to think, 28-14 at half. I mean, I don't know what that locker room is feeling like because, again, we're playing a team that hasn't experienced
They don't know how to lose.
They don't know how to lose. So you're up on a team, and you're giving it everything that you got. Because, why not us? Why not? Why can't we be the ones to beat the undefeated team, So coming out of half, Norton goes, we ain't going out like this. This half got to be ours. If not, this quarter got to be ours. So check me out. Norton goes for an 11-yard touchdown because Willick is just that guy. He's just that guy. He scores a touchdown. Now the score is 28-21. Norton is coming now.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel it because now you just let them score first. You let them get first blood.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do that against an undefeated team.
No.
But guess what? Buckeye got to the 1-yard line, but they weren't able to score until it was 4th down. You telling me y'all get to the 1-yard line and they holding y'all this 1 yard. You get to the 4th down and Gage Nagy gets the touchdown. 35-21. Buckeye prevails right now. They're prevailing.
That offense is hard to stop. It is so hard to stop.
But guess what? Norton's runner back Dobbins goes for 77 yards. 77 yards.
To the house.
To the crib. But they do miss the field goal. So the score is now 35-27.
They still only down 8. Still a one-score game if you go for 2.
They can go for 2. So this is still a very tieable game, right? But guess what? Man, Buckeye, y'all just doing the thing right now. Because guess what? Gage Nagy goes for a 4-yard touchdown run, puts the score of 42-27. Go work, Buckeye, because y'all really doing the thing against an undefeated team. But Norton drove down the field quick and scored a 2-yard touchdown by Dobbins. And they go for the 2-point conversion, and it is good. They're back as the score is now 42-37. And that's how the third quarter would end. That was a lot of scoring in the third quarter.
Hope you guys can keep up with that.
Hopefully y'all keeping up because I know there's a lot of back and forth right now because you got Buckeye scoring and Norton scoring, but then Norton scoring and Buckeye scoring. It's scoring all over the place. This game could be tied if it wasn't for that one stop in the second quarter from Buckeye.
Hey, that could come up to be a big stop.
That might be the biggest stop of the game if they can win.
Hey, remember, Buckeye also missed an extra point in this game.
So we're going to jump into the fourth quarter, the final quarter of play. You ready?
I'm ready.
I'm ready. Let's get straight to it, man. Buckeye runs the ball. All they do is drive. It leads to a 1-yard touchdown by Gage Nagy. Man, I've said his name how many times because this boy is getting the job done. The score is now 49-35. But guess what? Norton just can't seem to go away as QB Bowman to Willick for a 51-yard touchdown on a 4th and 3. That was probably the most crucialist time for them right now in the fourth quarter.
Hey, you only needed 3 yards. You get 51 of them, and then you're in the end zone.
End zone. The score is 49-41 because you want to know why? Norton missing the field goal. They missed the field goal, man. And that's not something you need at this point in the fourth because every point matters.
Remember, that's 2 missed point afters. So that's 2 points they're leaving on the board right now. Let's see what happens.
So let's get it. Norton goes for the onside kick. It fails, but they were able to force a punt. So that's the one stop that they need now because Buckeye got them in the second. Now they get them in the fourth. Better late than never, right? Norton goes for a 1-yard touchdown by Dobbins. The score is now 49-47. And they missed a missed field goal or 2-point conversion. We don't know which one they're going to go for, but they need it. Regardless, they need it.
They needed it.
And guess what? They try to go for one and fold. It doesn't happen. They miss. They missed the 2-point conversion. So guess what? They got to go for the onside kick. They go for the onside kick again, and they failed. They don't get the ball back. It doesn't go. It's not looking like anything's going according to plan right now. But they were able to get a stop again because they're undefeated, and they know they're undefeated, and they know the game is on the line.
Yeah, they know this is their season right here. This is it.
They get the stop, and they force a punt on Buckeye. Now, from Buckeye, we just can't get nothing off now, right?
We couldn't be stopped. Now all we can be is stopped.
So listen, Norton gets into Buckeye's territory and was sacked multiple times. Oh, my goodness. Buckeyes out there probably sweating right now because they're trying to get this job done, right? Norton tried to rush to a field goal unit on the field with little time left. They got the snap off, but the kick was rushed, and it ended up getting tipped. Oh, my God. You telling me they had the chance to go for the W, and it got tipped because Buckeye I feel like Buckeye just knew they need one stop, and they could win this game, and they tipped the field goal. Oh, my goodness.
It was rushed. A team had to get on the field quick. The field goal unit had to get on the field quick. Couldn't get set. They just snapped it as fast as they could. Kicker couldn't get set. Goes for the kick, and it's tipped. That's what happens in these rushed field goal situations.
And guess what, y'all? Buckeye gets the stop. They win the game 49-47. They beat the undefeated Norton team.
Mm-hmm.
They were undefeated, and they
remember,
just experienced their first loss in the playoffs.
They missed those 2 extra points. That's 2 points right there.
What have I been saying all season long? You can't miss the easy ones because they will, 9 times out of 10, bite you at the end of the game. And guess what? They got a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Player of the game, I've said his name multiple times, was running back Gage Nagy. He had 3 touchdowns. He did everything he could to try to save this team a season. If you guys want to read up on it, it was a great game, outstanding game, if I do say so myself. Make sure you guys go to keonsports.com, go look up the author, Jacob Stahl. I mean, this was honestly the best game, I think, of the playoffs.
It was a fantastic game.
You being an undefeated team, like I feel like any undefeated team experiences they lost is worth to be talked about. And it's not like the game was bad.
Mm-mm.
This game was neck and neck. They could have won. Oh, okay. Go ahead, Jax. Take it away, bro. I'm out of breath.
That was our top 5 games of the week. As we said, number 1 was a heck of a game. Congrats to Buckeye on getting that win and beating that undefeated Norton team. But with that, we'll go into the player of the week. It was close. We could have been Gage Nagy, but we went with Cam McKinley, wide receiver, Keith Quincy, who had 7 catches for 116 yards and a touchdown and the game-winning interception to finish off St. Ignatius. Hey, shout out to Keith Quincy. Keep it going, man. Keep it going for Cam McKinley. But with that, let's head into our playoff preview. Some games we're previewing this next upcoming week. Hey, might be on our list next week. With Region 1, we got St. Ed's coming in at 10-1 versus Canton McKinley. Hey, we were just talking about them. They're at 9-3. This is going to be a juggernaut game. I mean, I'm excited to see the outcome of this game. I can't wait to see what happens.
Second game we have in Region 1 is Cleveland Heights versus Medina. Cleveland Heights is 11-1. Medina is 8-3, but Medina is not no regular 8-3 team.
No.
If you think that game is going to be a juggernaut, this one's going to be crazy because you know how we feel about Medina. But Cleveland Heights has had such a great season. I mean, anything is possible right now.
Hey.
To be honest, I feel like if Medina wins, it's gonna be at the strength of how well Jack Wojak plays and Dan Stoddard plays. Because playoff games, the deeper you guys get, the harder it gets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited. This is Region 1 games, baby. We got to make it happen.
And coming in at Region 5, we have Hoban at 10-1 versus Riverside at 10-2. Yeah, my alma mater, Twinsburg, lost Riverside, but it was a close game, 32-20. Shout out to Twinsburg for, keeping it close. But I'm glad they don't have to play Hoban because Hoban is a heck of a football team.
Y'all probably would have got stomped on.
Hey. Don't be mean. But I'm looking forward to Hoban versus Riverside. These are 2 fantastic teams. But let's see what they got.
Yeah, because the other game in Region 5, we have Wash Jesuit versus Hudson. Now, Wash Jesuit, they're having a fantastic season themselves for 11-1
Mm-hmm.
versus Hudson, who's very strong. A very strong team, really good defensively, and they have a really good offense as well. That Hudson knows how to execute too. Although they are a 9-2 team, records to me don't really matter in the playoffs. It's all about who wants it more.
Mm-hmm.
So I think these games right here will be awesome.
Hey.
We might see this.
Hey.
I think we might have an opportunity to see this team in our next week's show.
Hey. With that, we'll head to Region 6, where we got Avon at 12-0. Versus Olmsted Falls at 9-2. We've had some Olmsted Falls games. We had a couple Avon games last year, if you remember. I think we had one this year. They got Ja'Cory and Caffey, who's a fantastic running back.
Oh, yeah, that boy signed.
Hey.
Yeah, that boy signed. He did his thing all season long, so there's a reason why they're 12-0.
Yeah, that's going to be an exciting one to watch. I'm hoping that it's close, and we can talk about that one next week.
Absolutely. And finally, we have a Region 7 game as Massillon, Washington is undefeated, and they're going to go up against Uniontown Lake, who is 9-3. Now,
hey, Massillon, Washington has that quarterback, DeJuan Owens.
Hey, what I say last year and earlier this year, his family gave him the right name. His parents gave him the right name. He is DeJuan. And for them to be undefeated, we don't have many undefeated teams left in the playoffs. Obviously, we just talked about one that just went down today. Well, last week, though. But, we just talked about one that just went down. So we got 2 undefeated teams left so far for our preview. I want to see how long they can go undefeated, though. So, honestly, I'm really rooting for the undefeated team. So,
yeah, I'm excited to see what we get this next upcoming week.
Shoot, man, that's playoff preview, baby. Those are the games that we're previewing for the week. We're going to see if they make it to the show next week. But that's all the time we got today, y'all. I've been your host, Darien.
And I'm Jack.
We're going to catch y'all in the next one.